you look into these people's faces, and you'll see what they are for real. They not what you think they is physically. That's all facade and a mask. They hiding behind that bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I read the signs and the, you know, the energy of who they really are.
Absolutely.
Right. So I'm just trying to validate the channel message with somebody familiar with the character type personality of the individual. Because I didn't know nothing about him. I never listened to none of his music. I think I seen him an interview right before he got shot, and then there was a bunch of um, catfishing with his name on it. So I was just like, fuck that shit,
Yeah.
you know,
And
and clout chasing on his name. So I didn't really dig into it like I did other people like Tupac, right? I dug into his shit and I found out what that really was behind the scenes.
definitely.
You know, so when this young brother started getting excited, screaming in my head, I got a headache from it now because he's not what you would call a mild personality. He's excited energy.
Yeah, that also ties into his spirit and where he comes from. He has massive energy, so you just gotta tell him to tone down. And yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Well, it was toned down, and it's still high.
All right, so
So
that tells me that he's over there training and doing battles, so that makes sense. Because if that's still like a little too high for you, and I know you got massive energy, so if it's still affecting you in that matter, he's probably doing work on the other side. But see, he can't do work on the physical the way he can on the spiritual. So that means he
well, we don't. All our elders tell us that too. When they get ready to go, they be like, "I got some work to do on the other side that I can't get done from here." Nana Woo Woo told us that.
absolutely, and that's why he when he finds out certain things. So on the other side, he's able to time travel, so and come back and forth, because he's also a gatekeeper as well as I am. So basically, he's coming to you and trying to help, and he's trying to use you to help prevent certain stuff from happening.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
No, he said this is what he just when you said that he said no, this is war. He said I'm trying to make something happen.
Yeah, ooh, I see what he's doing. All right, all right, all right. I know what he wants. That makes sense. Yeah, X. All right, let's put it this way, right? X is a warrior, and I mean a warrior. Like
Yeah, I get that.
he is stepper, like, and he'll be the first one to jump. So I can only imagine the kind of fun he having on the other side. But I'm thinking that he went and saw something, and he sees that action needs to be taken now. But he's more so doing it on the industry, because the industry are harvesting the energy. Okay, I see. Okay, so look, basically he's trying to expose individuals that are the masterminds of absorbing this energy and cultivating it for the negative, right? Because this is what they do. They do off the bullshit, right? Like with the whole concert with the Travis nigga, right? They're meant to draw attention, and when we acknowledge those type of things, we give it energy. And they then take this energy and they use it to attack us with it. And you could barely even look at it. Just acknowledging, just posting, just speaking on it. You're giving it energy, and recognize how this thing is worldwide. It's on a worldwide scale. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
the magnitude behind this. They're
Hmm.
drawing energy from the entire planet.
Hmm.
So imagine
Well,
what
we know the law of physics say where the attention go, the energy flows.
exactly.
You know, so this is what they call the artist selling his soul, because when they sign those record deals, they giving the control of their estate to those record companies. So when they kill them off for their masters and get that dead celebrity status, their family don't see none of it.
They can't. They don't have X's soul because of what X is spiritually. They don't have the power to wrap somebody like.
No, you listen. You listen. When they say sell your soul, they mean sacrifice your God-given talent for substance,
Uh,
wealth. That's what selling your soul really is. So, like my brain power. If I was to use my brain power to empower the system, then I would have been selling my soul.
okay, I see what you mean.
So because I don't want to sell my soul, I use my brain power in the interest of the greatest good of the most people. You see? So when I do that, my spiritual currency know that it's coming from a true place, because if it wasn't, I wouldn't do it.
That's true.
Right? I'm the type of person that if I don't mean it, I'm not doing it. Period. Like if I mean that shit. When I say I'm trying to help my people recover their shit, I mean that shit. You know? And like this, this psychic shit, it's disturbing to me personally, right? That I'm able to have communications from people that's not in physical form, even though I'm aware of the science of it, how it works, the mechanics. I'm aware of all of that, but as the mortal self is still disturbing to. So I'm still having to soothe my own self after getting the psychic message. You know what I mean?
Because the
Mm-hmm.
channeling energy, the
Yeah.
effect it has on your side. I get you about. I channel not like that, not from other people, not like that. In the sense of like Xing people in my spirit family or in my soul tribe on my spirit team. I can get where you come from. It's probably stronger for you based off how your energy is. You're a stronger psychic. So I could.
Mm-hmm. So my psychic level is called a Hyoka empath, which allows me to not just have the empathy, um, but to use it to read more than the average person would be able to read just being a regular empath.
You're like my elder Jasmine. She's like that too. She's a reader as well. I'm in training at the moment. I could read somebody without looking at them or being around them, but you're just more on a severity level. Shit. So I mean, if that's what I gotta face in the future, yeah. Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah. So yeah, it's you know it's kind of cool sometimes when it's somebody that um you haven't heard from in a while and they thinking about you, and then you make a instant psychic connection and you're like, oh, that's you. Hey, how you doing?
You know,
Um,
I'm pretty sure
it,
you already do it, but just in case, you never know. You could speak to the king like that because I know his psychic
mhm,
is very strong energetically. Wait a minute. That's probably that's probably how he sends his messages out from prison. So I'm pretty sure that's you can, if you haven't already, you can communicate with him energetically. If you know his energy, say you didn't know his energy, you can watch like an old video, and because you're an empath, you'll see the energy will beam towards you. You can then lock onto that energy like physically, and you could track down Larry, and you could speak to him that way. Kind of his psychic is very strong. I know they didn't crack him in there because of where he's at energetically.
yeah, I'm already aware of that. Cause that's how he told me, don't get into the gang bang and get into the brain banging.
Mm, okay. In regards to
You know.
what X said about the war, it I it's gonna get a lot deeper than people can comprehend. And what he wants
Mm,
is to basically bring you a message to where it's gonna give the people leeway to advance a little bit further, because they had to advance further energetically. They're finna get hit with light codes, angelic codes, gamma radiation, cosmic radiation, primordial radiation. There's all types of inner earth portals that are already open and that are exposing energy to people. And after a being is exposed to either low amounts of energy or high amounts of energy, this evolution takes place within that individual. So everybody's going to begin to morph. He wants to prevent them from absorbing that energy. So he's trying to take up the
so just to give you a little update on the ones that we already caught red-handed, dirty in the act. Tommy Mottola, he got caught red-handed, dirty in the act. David Kenner, Ted Fields, caught dirty in the act. Clive Davis, caught dirty in the act. All of them were caught. It's another one that was part of Interscope with Ted Fields. I can't think of his name right now, but they all got caught. Um, Larry Cohen got caught. The owner of Koch Records for Heavy D, when they poisoned him, talking about he had a heart attack. They got caught. All these motherfuckers is caught except there's one label left. It's Empire. So this is what you call an emerging conjure in the industry. So because the other ones are all being seized by the people of the land, it leaves the little indies that's able to slide in and do the dirt. So Catch Records' problem with Heavy D was he was giving out too good of record deals to independent artists. So that's what why they had to get rid of him. This music industry and this entertainment industry is a dirty game, right? So they sucking off all of the creative life force energy of the artists in order to build their castles all over the world, and we not seeing it. Well, we seeing it now. We seeing the effects of the dirty hands, right? Like I didn't never listen to Young Dolph music. I don't know nothing about him. I didn't listen to Triple X. I don't know nothing about him. But I know he was adamant that it's that guy. He was adamant that it was about frequency and vibration. And he was adamant that this gonna expose it all. So I had to get a message. Even if I don't understand it at the time, I might get some receipts later that'll verify it. You know? So it's some more artists on his label. He got what they call a bailout. The bailout is when multiple artists die in rapid succession for whatever currency they got wagered, because they got money in the gambling. Like, bet know how long this guy gonna live, or if this guy will die at a certain day at a certain time, right? So they got a quantum calculator that does astrology, and they taking these artists, they use their name in gematria, they use their birth dates and their stellar alignments in order to know when they should kill them in order to reap the greatest reward.
Exactly, and that's why they put them with specific record labels, because the record labels keep track of them. They section them off based off of their currency and the value they hold.
Mm-hmm.
But if they
So,
get music out the way, that'll be like a big step for the people, because the music controls the frequency and frequency controls the mind. And if the mind, because right now I was telling folks that they're not the war isn't on our vessels anymore. The war is on our energy. And in order to get to our energy, they have to get to us using frequency. And that's why they're attacking us. Where they're attacking us right now is with frequency, and that's the biggest thing right now, because it's going to knock off our ability to absorb the frequencies coming in from the atmosphere and from our ancestors, from the energies above, and that's their main goal. If they could knock that off for as long as possible, it could prevent us from receiving the energy needed to how do I say it, unlock specific DNAs, because they're all coming in sections. To make sense. So say like we receive energy for slot number 1, but then they knock us off for slot number 2, and we get for slot number 3. It's going to cause an imbalance within us, because we don't have the energy for slot number 2, even we have number 3. That's what they want to do, because, and by slots I mean each strand of DNA we have is activated by a specific frequency. So like, gamma might activate slot 1, and then beta might activate slot 2, angelic might activate slot 3. But if you don't have it, you don't have the full what's it called? You don't have all the requirements to fully unlock. Just because one strand is unlocked isn't gonna fully bring about evolution within the body.
So I got another channel coming in from Bobby Hemmings. That motherfucker part of that homosexual cult, that shit packing cult they got going. them homosexual Arabs, them homosexual Muslims. That's what he keeps saying. Brother Bobby Hemmett. Wow,
I know you're talking
that's
about.
deep.
In
He
Pakistan, that's
never
where the
contacted
warlord
me.
that
Yeah,
over
he
there
never.
is where they the children. They do live beheadings. They all the bad shit. That's where they do it over there. So yeah, they rape folks over there. They kill folks. They kill babies. All that. That's where they do it. That's where they play on the blood and everything. And that's why the leader of empire is from there. He's sort of like the representative or the head honcho.
As far as I know, Bobby Hemmett's still alive. He was last I know was recovering from a stroke. Um, I don't. He didn't say he was coming from the other side. It sounded telepathic to me. Um, X energy is so fucking loud. Like his presence is encompassing. But Bobby able to control his energy at a higher level. He
Bless
said that
you.
motherfucker wanted him.
He vibrates on vibration energy, so yeah, it's gonna be a little bit harder
Yeah.
for him, especially if he's getting hyped up. And this particular
I
events like
think
this
what it
would definitely get him hyped the fuck up. So it's gonna be extremely hard for
yeah, so I'm thinking that he is just so excited that somebody can hear what he's telling them and relay the message out into the public domain that this shit come to an end. Cause this the shit we've been trying to stop, right? Cause our elders told us it's 9 areas of people activity that they control: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. I added the 10th one, health, because without good health, none of the other 9 can be effectuated.
exactly because good health allows you to intake these energies. And
Right.
if yeah, so I completely understand.
Yeah. So he excited about this shit more than me because this shit giving me a headache. But um yeah, so he's saying that it's that guy is behind it. He the unseen hand pulling the strings behind the scenes. And he's manipulating the artists and using them against each other and making backdoor deals and gambling wagers on their life on who gonna last the longest in the onslaught. They got dates in the ledger. It's not on a PDF. It's not on digital format. It's on paper with a pencil. And the wager is in the ledger. And if they catch the ledger, they can know exactly which ones he had killed, right? Because they write it down and they stateside Arabs, but they run like a mafia family.
That makes sense.
And he's tied to them and they call the shots because he got money to start his company from them in some form or another, either by a loan or by an agreement or some kind of family marriage arrangement. But they are the ones behind the moves, and they are the ones that's calculating when they expect the next artist to die. They got a rapid succession of artists lined up, right? He's showing me the ledger. I can't see the names because they're in Arabic, right? And when I try to read the Arabic, it make it make my eyes like blur the picture, right? But they got the dates on them, and that's almost English, but it's still written in Arabic, right? So they figuring that like that's the dumbest shit in the world. They think that by writing in Arabic, the police can't get a translator. That's almost dumb as a nigga thinking because he used his cell phone that they can't track him.
That
I'm glad you
but
came on.
when it comes to what's occurring now, I time travel daily and it's still undeterminable. So it's really up to those who can work on the other side to help keep things on a straight and narrow. And that's what he's doing right now. I've seen multiple outcomes or possibilities, so to say, of how this could go. And right now, what's occurring is the industry is the most important. It's the most important variable in keeping things on the right track. Because if they're not taken out, they're gonna get desperate, and they're gonna, like, how'd I say it? They're gonna call in for their There's a word for it. It's it's like emergency provisions, if that makes sense. And these will be like well, you just described it, when they're gonna let off like multiple sacrifices for big amounts of energy.
But it's in play right now. So this is like the beginning of what you call an onslaught. Yeah. So they got the stage set, right? They got the timing down, right on the heels of they riding the wave, the energy wave of the. See, they put Travis Scott. That was a blood ritual on the breakup for